Hi there, y'all. Welcome to another episode of My Bad Assets. In this episode, what we're going to talk about is the new FICO 10 scoring policy. Now, if you're affluent, this is really going to help you out, okay? But for those of you who are struggling, which is most of us in this country, it may or may not help you. In fact, it looks like it's probably going to hurt you. Hey y'all, my name is Alan Sasoyev and I'm the founder of MyBadAssets.com. Now I could sit here and tell you guys how all this got formed as a direct result of my activities as a real estate investor and a real estate coach, but I know you guys could care less about that, right? You guys want to learn about credit, credit repair, and how to perfect your credit, don't you? I mean, truth is, you could care less about me. You want to know how I can help you fix your credit so that you can get the things you want out of life, like, new car, maybe purchase a home, or just the peace of mind knowing you have the credit you need if you've got some sort of emergency for yourself or your family. Am I right? Well, it just so happens that due to the activities I do in real estate, I have become a credit perfection expert. And I do mean credit perfection. Here at mybadassets.com, guys, we don't play around with credit repair. I mean, I really believe credit repair by itself is pretty useless. So many times I see people who get credit sweeps done, and sure, all the bad marks on their credit are gone, but you know what? Now they're left with a blank file, and guess what? That doesn't help you guys either. Please take a few moments, check out the content. At the end of the video, I'll give you guys a look at some of the products we've got available now, as well as a bunch of the free stuff that'll help get you guys on the road to credit perfection. Now, if you've not already done so, you should subscribe to this channel because we will be releasing content often to help you guys understand everything that's going on in the world of credit right now. You can subscribe by clicking the button right down there to the right. Other than that, like I said, take a look at the video, ask questions and comments, comment in the comment section. I'm always up for some questions. And take a look at the products and the free stuff I've got at the end. Also, generally I'll mention free stuff that you can get just by watching the videos. The link for that is also going to be at the very end of this video, so watch it to the end and you can get the link there. We're all in this together, guys. So whatever I can do to help you guys, I'm happy to do so. So you guys want to learn about some credit? Let's learn about some credit, shall we?
Fair Isaac Corporation, more commonly known as FICO, has built a new set of scoring models. These models are going to these models are going to be made available to all of the big three, which is of course Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Some are saying this is going to start up around the beginning of the summer. FICO reports that at the very least it'll be by the end of 2000 it's going to be in place. These new models will treat late payments and debt far more severely, but they're also going to be considering some historical information and things like that with regards to your balances and the payments you make each month. Make no mistakes, guys, your FICO score is likely going to change, and it's probably not going to be for the better. This is the first redevelopment of their scoring model since 2014 when it released FICO 9. And while a lot of people are yelling, the sky is falling, I'm not terribly concerned. I know plenty of ways to fix a credit score and a credit report without ever having to worry about how these guys are changing the rules. So stick around with me and let me show you how. Before we get too far into this, let me just remind you guys of the scoring factors in their order of importance. We've done this on other modules and in other videos, but since I'm talking about it here, it's probably a good idea to go over them. The first, of course, is your payment history. You got to pay on time. Even if you pay the minimums, it's imperative that you pay on time. As you guys know, I teach that you get all that stuff put on auto draft, and then you can't even possibly be late. Then there's credit utilization. It's the second most important factor. If you're using most of your credit score is going to be low. How do you fix that? Well, get more credit and don't use it. The other way, of course, is to pay off your credit cards every month and pay them off by the end of the month. Sadly, that's not always an option for a lot of us. The other three scoring factors are not near as important, but still can make a very positive or very negative hit to your account. How long you've had your credit, with the various types of credit types that you have. And speaking of types, the credit mix itself is important. The way they look at it is if you've got lots of different kinds of debt, like some installments, maybe some student loans and a mortgage and a credit card, you look way better than if all you have is just unsecured debt in the form of credit cards. FICO is going to consider the 5 factors we just talked about in previous FICO models, as it always has. However, they're expanding into new territory. They say that their goal is to give lenders a more precise assessment of your credit risk. Now, I'm not sure that's true. One of the things they're going to consider now is what they're calling your trended data. Trended data is information on your credit report, which shows how you're managing your accounts over the past 24 months. It's also called time series data sometimes. This can work for you if you generally pay on time, but what's more likely is that it's going to work badly against you. What this means is if you're newly late, your score is going to start dropping like immediately. You may have a chance of recovery if you're a month or two late. However, if you've waited a long time, if you're more than 2 or 3 months late and you've been consistently late on payments, this is going to make your score even lower than it would have under previous models. What's worse is that now they're going to count balances that get carried over month to month against you as well. They figure there's 2 types of borrowers. Transactors are people who pay their credit cards off in full every month. Under this new scoring model, those folks are going to look better than they already do. Of course, they don't really need credit, do they, if they can pay it off every month? Revolvers are people who carry balances each month. Those people are going to see large drops in their credit score. Fortunately, as always, I have a fix. Actually, I got 2 fixes. If you're a homeowner right now, you need to go look at getting a home equity line of credit or some other sort of second mortgage vehicle. The interest is lower than a credit card, and you get to write the interest off on your taxes like immediately. And that doesn't push your credit limit up. Well, it does, but it's different. Anyway, for those of you who don't own a home, you need to seriously get into some budgeting. 2 of the 14 modules in my credit repair course are devoted to budgeting properly. That's how important I think budgeting is. Even if you own a home, really, in order not to get back into credit card debt, you're going to need to get on a budget that works for you. And I hate to keep giving you guys bad news, but there's more. With the new FICO 10, the impact of any late payment is going to be far more pronounced than with the previous score versions. If that wasn't bad enough, this means the consumer who misses one payment is likely to experience a much more severe drop than they have in the past. One payment could drop you as much as 20 or 30 points, y'all. The fix? Autodraft. I've taught this for a long time. Set your accounts up on autodraft so that the minimum is taken from the checking or the savings account a few days before the minimum payments even due. You'll never be late this way, and at least you will have made the minimum. Make your other payments up during the month as you can. You can always pay them a little bit more during the month. Most people get paid every 2 weeks. There's no reason why, if you got a good budget going, that you can't make some of the minimums in the first 2-week period and some more in the second 2-week period, and then, throw some money their way as you have it. Besides that, listen, guys, red beans and rice never killed anybody, neither did peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Now this kind of goes along with the trending data stuff that I told you guys in a couple of slides back, but credit card debt just in general is going to have a much larger impact with FICO 10. Again, the folks that pay off their credit cards every month, well, they're going to get rewarded. Anybody else who carries a balance, they're going to get screwed. Kind of makes you wonder if it's not really a plot to keep people who are barely making it poor, doesn't it? Credit utilization is a very important metric already, and it amounts to the ratio of your credit card balances to your total limits. For example, let's say you had a $10,000 credit limit on a credit card and you've got $5,000 in a balance, your utilization is 50%. Is that simple enough? I personally see this as a push to get rid of or minimize unsecured debt. I think these guys saw ahead of time that we were going to head towards recession. They couldn't possibly have seen COVID, but the rest of the financials were already there that we were heading towards a recession that we peaked financially. COVID just made it worse. Lenders, creditors, the credit reporting agencies, they all want to make their money, and unsecured debt that goes in default does not make anybody money. So let's go over the fix. You get a lower credit utilization in several ways. First, just use your credit sparingly, right? That goes without saying. If you're paying on time, it's not hard to get your limits increased. Talk to the credit card companies. Right now, they're tending to try to decrease limits as much as possible, so those of you guys who are paying on time are going to be in good shape. Also, leave cards that you don't use very often, leave those open. A lot of people like to close those accounts because they're not using them. I always recommend that against that, guys. See, that hurts you. Even if you have to use it once every 6 months just to keep it open, do so, again, because that increases your ratios. It makes your decreases your ratios. It makes everything look bigger and better. Finally, now this is a double-edged sword, but you can always get more credit. Of course, hard inquiries when you try to get more credit can hurt you as well, but they don't hurt you near as much as poor credit utilization ratio. We've also been told that personal loans, which are also sometimes they're called consumer loans or signature loans, are going to affect your score poorly. This process is called debt consolidation, and the credit card companies know when you're trying to consolidate your debt. They know that this typically means that you're in financial trouble, and now they're going to start hitting your credit score harder as a result. Now, there's a different kind of consumer loan out there, and it's going to help you. Actually, there's two kinds. If you see yourself starting to have problems, go to your bank and see about getting an installment loan. This is, of course, if you can't tie it to something of value like your house. A HELOC, a home equity line of credit, or a second mortgage would always be better for this purpose. Anyway, an installment loan is better because it's a fixed amount every month, and in the algorithms, it just looks better to the credit reporting agencies. It's going to be looked at positively by the new FICO scoring model as well. The other fix, and you guys have heard me talking about before in many other videos, is secured savings account and CD loans. That is, of course, if the bank reports to the credit bureaus. Guys, these are going to help your score tremendously, and if you're using your own money to build your credit score. Sure, it's going to cost you a little bit in interest, but the dividends you're going to get are going to be fantastic.
Okay guys, as I pointed out at the beginning, we've got some products available for purchase. You'll notice I don't do any hardcore sales technique. I generally speaking make my money coaching people in real estate investing. Yes, there's products. Yes, they're for sale. Everything here is designed to help you guys out, okay? There's a do-it-yourself course right over here. There's a do-it-yourself course if you're interested in something like that. And if you'd rather have us do it for you, I can tell you, we are definitely experts at what we do, so much so that we'll even guarantee the results. So if you're interested, just go check out the link at mybadassets.com/products. There's also a free webinar. That'll help you guys out as well. The link is here on the slide. And then for other free resources that I mentioned throughout these videos, you can go here at this other part, Ask Al How, for free credit repair resources. Finally, I want to recommend the only credit monitoring service that we recommend is smartcredit.com. If you click on this link, smartcredit.com/Ask Al How, we have arranged some extra freebies for you guys as our students and our clients, okay? Again, put your questions in the comments section below. I'll try to get back to you guys as quickly as I can. And remember that here at mybadassets.com, we're not just credit repair or credit fixing or credit restoration. At mybadassets.com, we are credit perfection. That's it for now, folks. See you guys next time.